Do you look around and you just notice everyone's running? I think that's fantastic that a lot of people are really into running and enjoying it. But with more eyes on running and people wanting to get into running, there's a lot of products out there. And I kind of want to take this video to reflect on 2 years worth of running I've done and what you actually need in terms of running essentials that won't break the bank. So I'm going to take you through that today. And I'm going to have a bonus tip, which is going to save you a lot of money and something that is free. So stick around for that and you're going to really enjoy it. But before all that, I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Salvatore. I'm a humble 9-to-5 office worker, someone that likes to finish work, roll up his sleeves, cook yummy plant-based meals for me and my girlfriend, someone who likes to lace off his running shoes and cross the finish line faster than he ever thought possible, which is kind of ingrained into my current goal. And in addition to that, if you'd like to help this channel and help me out and leverage your 9 to 5 the best way possible and have an amazing fitness journey and just lose weight and feel amazing and save so much money on getting to work and getting around, well, I've crystallized 6 to 7 years worth of riding my bike into an ebook called A Life Cycles. It takes you through everything you need to know about getting a bike, getting on the bike, getting all the equipment, smashing it, saving so much money in terms of the bike, the gear, the equipment, the nutrition. It's all distilled into there. It takes you through step by step everything you need to consider. If you'd like to support me, click the link in the description below and get yourself a copy, and it will take you through everything you need. And you'll have an amazing transformation, and the value, the price of the book will be exceeded by the value provided in that. I can guarantee that. So with all that being said, let's get into the video about the running essentials that you actually need. And I want to start out with what I think is the most important one, and that's going to be a hat. Now, I've said a hat, not a running hat, because I've noticed that running hats, if you type up like a specific running hat, they're all between like 60 and 70 Australian dollars. And I think that's like a bit too expensive for people starting out. And it's kind of like, I think it's a bit unfair. So with this is just a simple Nike hat, which I think I got for like 20 bucks. And even at the outlets, I think you can get this for like 10. It's called the Featherlight hat, I think. And it's really good. It's good for two reasons. One, it will block out the sun. So if you're doing a lot of running, it helps to protect your face from the sun, right? And you don't need to get like sunglasses then, right? For running, you can just use a hat, which is way cheaper. And why I'm putting it as an essential. Another thing, it keeps your sweat out of your eyes, right? Another benefit. Another reason the running hat's fantastic, right? When it rains, this will protect you in terms of from rain getting in your eyes a bit, which is nice, and you just have more confidence. So I would definitely say that a running hat, or not a running hat, a hat like this, which can be used for running, is a great first investment to get started out. And then eventually you can get like a premium running hat down the line. Like this doesn't matter. I used this in my attempt the other day to run a sub 19-minute 5K. But if you are interested in getting a running hat, I've done a bit of research and I found one which I'm going to put in the description, and it's about, I think, between $14 and $20 from Decathlon, and it looks the part, and I reckon it'll do a really, really good job. So if you're interested, you can get that, for example. I have no affiliation with them. They've just got some good stuff I've purchased over the years and noticed it seems pretty nice, pretty balanced, pretty neutral, not too over the top. So if you'd like to, go ahead and get that. Now, the next point I'd like to talk about is running fuel. Now, you've probably seen people have these things called gels, this little plastic thing or plastic sachet or whatever, and you rip it open and it's like gooey. You have it and, it fills you with energy and stuff, right? The thing is, they're really expensive. They're anywhere between like $2 to $4 each. And you kind of need a lot of these if you go on longer runs, and it gets expensive really quick. So I've kind of thought about it, and I actually haven't used running gels really, which is interesting. I use something else, which is way cheaper, way more economical, way more easier to kind of take. And it doesn't also have the waste of the like the fact it's like, like single-use plastic, what have you. So it's also, I guess, in that respect, more environmentally friendly too. It's this. It's called, it's an electrolyte kind of like sugar mix, or electrolyte carbohydrate mix, I should probably say. And basically, it's about 2 kilos. It's about $70 or $72 is the cheapest I've seen it, from Chemist Warehouse in Australia. And I reckon this is a better flavour over the lime lemon, which I'm currently going through. This I've finished. You just take 1 scoop before your run in the morning with some a glass of water, mix it through, and it's fantastic. It gives you kind of the energy that you need. It gives you the salt, and you can have it after as well to replenish the electrolytes lost. It's just really easy to have, and I recommend that as an essential over, say, gels. Because here it's saying we get, from 2 kilos, we get, I think it's, how many doses? 80 doses. So 80 bucks, no, 70 bucks, 80 doses. Yeah, like, so about a dose is like $1 then, I guess. So that's pretty good. I might try to do the math on the screen so we can figure out actually how cheap it is. So you don't need necessarily gels when starting out. Something like that is perfect. And if you wanted to even go cheaper, you could just get white table sugar, and then get a little bit of some electrolyte, an electrolyte plain mix that together in terms of like a ratio, and that will probably do it, honestly, because yeah, that will probably be fine actually. If you and then a bit of like flavoring that you want to make it, like if you really want to go to the next level, but you can get this, it's all prepared for you, and I think it's pretty cheap. So this is probably another really important essential, because if you do a lot of running, it will start to add up and you'll kind of feel it in a literal sense. What I mean by this is get yourself a pair of running socks. Now, these I've got from Lululemon. These are, I believe they're said to be running specific, but they basically, they really hug your foot and they become like a second skin. So what that means is if you've kind of got a bit of friction resistance when you kind of like look in where the, what do you call it, the toes and the foot is, that will kind of rub, and over the course of a run, that will cause friction, which will then lead to blisters. So I haven't really encountered blisters per se. It's only kind of come up once I've started to introduce longer runs. So I've kind of been more mindful of that now. Now, if you come from a cycling background, you actually can get away with using cycling socks as running socks because they're kind of quite similar. They're quite, well fitting. They've got fantastic construction, and you kind of leverage both of them either way. So I've used running socks a lot cycling socks in my running. And yeah, so it's pretty cool to consider that. I'm just going to kind of show you what I mean. So when you look at the inside of this sock, you'll see that like it doesn't really have many points that'll kind of cause that friction because how it's like woven, and it kind of really works to hug your feet and like wick moisture. So running socks are really important. Now, if you're looking to get yourself a pair of running socks, these are pretty cool, but they're more on the expensive side. It looks at the moment that 2XU is probably the cheapest in terms of getting a 3-pack. I like them coming up to here because it gives you a bit more sun protection and kind of prevents the high bit of the shoe rubbing against your ankle. So I'm going to link that also in the description for a pair of like running socks, 3-pack. I think it's like 24 or 26 bucks at the time when I checked it. So Australian, that is. So get on that, running socks, prevent blisters, keep your feet feeling great, and just basically help you crush your workout with confidence, knowing that you've got them on. Daily trainers. You need a pair of running shoes, right? Now, people will have like, there's race shoes. I think daily trainers are probably the best way to start out because they can do everything. Now, these are more on the higher end of daily trainers. I got these back in the day for 160. They retail at, I think, 240 or 250. But if you kind of wanted an entry-level daily trainer, you could get the Nike Pegasus, the year before model, because they go on sale for like less than 100 bucks or 100 bucks at outlets. So you can get yourself a really nice shoe that's like a year old, but still brand new, and kind of leverage off that and use that as your training partner. Because these have clocked over 500 Ks, but they're still going really good. So I'd say investing in a good pair of daily trainers helps you do things all the way from easy recovery runs to medium pace runs to faster runs and even potentially a race. Like you can get away with that as well. So I'd say daily trainers are a good investment. But if you kind of don't have the money to play with and you've already got a pair of running shoes, then you can get away with using those. But something to bear in mind, like when you see a deal in terms of daily trainers, then it is worth the investment, because daily trainers kind of are allowed, or kind of get more in the range of getting you between anywhere from, say, 600Ks to even 1,000. So they're really durable in that respect. So, double thumbs up to them in terms of being a good running essential. Which then, I guess, takes me to my next point about something else I found really helpful. So I go for a run in the morning. So I need to take my keys, I like to take my phone to listen to music. And then I guess in the future, if I do take gels, I want to be able to kind of carry that. So I would say that running tights are fantastic because they just hug your body better. They're more aerodynamic. These ones in particular, how they've been made. They've got lots of like pockets for keys in the inside. They're called the Nike Aero Swift. These are expensive, but if you go to outlets, you can get them really cheap, or find another brand of tights that have kind of like spots for your phone, spots for gels and keys, to kind of just give you that confidence, because I can kind of wear whatever top I want and have this underneath. I just know I'm carrying stuff, and they're not that heavy. So I kind of feel like instead of needing a running belt or running vest, you can just have these, and it's kind of like an all-in-one. It kind of just saves you and helps make things a bit easier. Benefit, like these have a drawstring, so if you have a phone, you can tie them nice and tight so it stays in place. So I think that's really important, running tights, especially for me, like listening to music, having keys, because if you're probably running, you probably need to carry a couple of things with you, and that just kind of helps keep it bundled up. So it's not like running shorts where everything's dangling and moving around. It kind of keeps it more compact. If you're a bit fastidious like me, then you'll kind of appreciate that. So I kind of wanted to point out that I think running tights are great, because I think you can kind of run in almost any top or t-shirt that you have when starting out. But if you can get yourself a nice pair of running tights, like that are cheap and that I think are an essential, then it just kind of helps to make it easier, I think. And then because of the compression, I think it helps with like leg recovery and helps you push yourself. It's aerodynamic. So you're kind of getting like a lot of benefits of that as well. Because even like if it's really hot or you want to run really fast, you can run without a singlet or t-shirt, and you just run like bare chested. But you'll still need to wear pants. You can't just like run fully naked. So I think tights in that respect are like more versatile, I guess. So that's kind of why I think they're more essential. If you don't want to get, say, in trouble for streaking, or like running in like Speedos or something. Like as a guy, that would be quite confronting, I guess. Oh yeah, so I guess one other thing about these, I've got about 6 pairs of these. That's how much I love them. So I've got 2 of these in blue, I've got 2 in black, I've got a long one, and then I've got the very first generation of these that didn't have the pockets, which is still okay. But yes, I love these. Now, if you, like from my research, I can't see anything in another brand like Decathlon that has something like that. So I can't see that. So what I'm going to do is link something from Temu, which is pretty much kind of covering, you get a 3-pack for $20, I think. So I'll provide that link in the description as well for you. So you'll be able to get a good deal on your first pair of running tights that won't break the bank, which I think is awesome. So that takes us to another essential that you need if you're going to start running. Even before you start running, just get it. It's called Strava. It's an app on your phone. It's an orange app. It's free, tracks your runs. It holds you accountable. If you're worried about people seeing your runs, just have it on private so only people that follow you can see you. And then you have a starting point, because you want to track where you started, and so you can see the progress you're making. It makes you want to come back again and again and again, helps build consistency. And then also, further to that point, with your runs, you can use the data from your runs, feed that into ChatGPT to kind of share your current goals, and it can kind of see how you're tracking and provide you that feedback. Strava has an AI feature in it for the premium use, but it's not really that great and not worth it. So just leverage something like ChatGPT, which is what I do, to kind of share my recent running splits and kind of what I'm feeling, to see how I'm progressing. So that's fine. So it's kind of like having that. Now, I said I would give a bonus tip. Now, I was tempted to include in this list as running essentials a running watch, But running watches, they're all expensive. Even the cheapest ones, I think over 200 Australian dollars. That is like somewhat okay. So I feel if you're just starting out, you don't need a running watch. But if you've listened and you've gotten yourself Strava on your phone, and another essential, I guess I'm going to pivot to is earbuds. I find these great for listening to music, helping me do runs when I don't feel like doing runs, and kind of helping me focus when I do harder runs and I have to listen to more specific type of music to keep me in the zone. These are great. You know, they're waterproof or water resistant, so if it rains, I'm okay. So I recommend, I mean, most people already have some type of earbuds, so I recommend it. But these you need if you want to leverage your phone and not have a running watch. What do I mean by that? Okay, so with these earbuds, you put them in, right, listen to music, but when you start running, when you hit start, open Strava and you can hit go and it will tell you your speed and everything. And if you're running with your phone in your hand, you can see it. But say if you want to hit start, put your phone in your pocket and just run, right? And not look at it. Well, then how do you know how fast you're going or how much distance you've done? Great point. That's kind of where a running watch is helpful. But if you set up audio cues and alerts, I think it's audio cues on Strava, which is really easy to do. Every 500 or 1K, it'll tell you the speed you're going at, and obviously you'll be able to tell the distance. So if you do 1K splits, you know, every time it says you're running this speed, that's another K done, that's another K done. And it kind of helps you get a feeling of what it's like to run at a certain pace. And I guess if you're wanting to dial in that pace and kind of hold a certain amount, then maybe every 500 meters is probably going to be more conducive for that. But if you're kind of a bit better at kind of holding a certain pace, then you could probably get away with doing the 1K audio cue split. So that's kind of what I found really helpful. And I guess looking back, if I had to start running again and I provided these links to me, I'd find great utility because basically and here's another thing, you can get this for 800 grams for 40 bucks. So I think you could get yourself started in running for less. If you already use your existing shoes, then you know that would be your most expensive purchase. And then everything else, like a hat, the tights, the socks, that's 60 to 70 bucks. So 3 pairs of tights, 3 pairs of socks, a hat. And then everyone's already kind of got some type of earbuds, whatever, so that doesn't count. Everyone's got a phone. So it's not really that much. And if you want a pair of daily trainers, 100 bucks. So basically you can get all set up and then plus that 800 grams for just about 200 bucks or maybe a bit less or a bit over. So I'd say as essentials, that's pretty good to get all started up with your hobby and start crushing it. That's pretty cool. So if you'd like, you can see the runs I do and follow me on Strava. And it'll be kind of cool to build that community in that respect. But yeah, I wanted to share the running essentials. So going back from the top, a hat doesn't have to be a running hat, but if you're looking to get a hat, check the link in the description below. There's one for something from Decathlon as a running specific hat. Then you're going to want to get some running socks. Running socks are great for preventing blisters and just, you know, helping, you know, your feet feel really amazing locked in. Nutrition, this powder is fine. You don't need gels. Have it before and after runs. Running tights with inserts. Check the link for what I've got from sharing from Temu. Running socks, I've got the link for 2XU. Phone, you've all got phones. Strava, set up Strava and then do audio cues. Everyone's got earbuds more or less. And you're basically ready to step out. If you don't have daily trainers, Nike Pegasus, get the year-old model. And you're basically set to go. So that's how you can conquer mountains, conquer life, or conquer this new habit of running with the essentials that you'll need to, you know, smash it out. So if you'd like to support me in the channel, go ahead and click the link in the description below for a copy of Life Cycles. Otherwise, share and subscribe. Also send a comment, what's your favorite running essentials? I'd love to hear from your perspectives too. And potentially I could do like a follow-up video and maybe do like a tier list. That'd be really fun. So yeah, so conquer mountains, conquer life. Thank you.